Over the last few months, our SaaS agency in just one of our niches has grown to 300 plus members. I think it's 301 as of the latest numbers. And in this video, I'm going to take you through the process that we use, the exact process, the system behind it, of how we actually do this. And the key behind this is we actually replicate this process, rinse and repeat essentially, across multiple different niches, meaning we don't have to create new services, new products. We just take the structure I'm going to share with you in this video, and replicate it over and over and over again. Now, that's 300 members in one single niche, not across all niches. That's just one of them. So this process works really well. And to give you some context, we have 301 subscribers in this particular niche, and we don't take sales calls at all. We do not sell the software. We don't have a big social media following at all. If at the time of recording, at least I've got something like 243 YouTube subscribers. Not a lot. I've got 813, I think, Instagram followers. Not a lot of people, right? So we're not doing this through big social followings, and we don't invest upfront heavily in ad spend either. We use the same lead generation system every single time. As I said, it's rinse and repeat. Nothing really ever changes. It's the same formula, same structure. We just simply build out the infrastructure for different target markets, which I'm going to take you into as well. We do use Go High Level for this. We license it with the SaaS agency plan, just like so many other people out there are, but we use it a little bit differently. The way we sell it is a little different, and that gives you an idea as to the sentence. We don't sell the software. It's a bit different what we do. And again, I'm going to take you through it. We use paid ads, but we don't have the upfront expense, and we do not leverage free trials. We have a 5% month on month churn rate, which is pretty strong in this space, which means when you generate that monthly recurring revenue, it does stick with you for quite a good amount of time. Now, in this video, I'm going to cover one of the key learnings from Russell Brunson and ClickFunnels, the three biggest mistakes people make when they're trying to launch their SaaS marketing agency, and of course, the system that we used. I'll go into that in more detail, and of course, how we rinse and repeat across different niches. Let's dive into it. First of all, we have to understand ClickFunnels. Now, one of the keys behind this is if you think back to their journey when they were really scaling, they never sold the software, right? They used the transformational challenges, the One Funnel Away challenge, and they used the webinars to give people context and purpose, which drives people into the pipeline. So they weren't just coming on the software and signing up for a free trial. Yeah, they did do trials, but they did it slightly differently. And that's where I want you to start thinking about that. Think about what they're actually doing, how they're doing it. They're not selling the software. They're never saying, look at all the different features of this software. No, they're giving it context every time. They're giving you a purpose for it. So, for example, the One Funnel Away challenge, it focuses on lead generation, how to pack your calendar, or how to make more sales for your digital products. It focuses on the lead generation. And then the software is essentially the tool they use to actually build the funnels away, the funnels out. So One Funnel Away, where you have to build the funnel. How do you build the funnel? Well, instead of having to figure it all out for you, you can use pre-built templates, and they have them built into the software, so you get a much faster start. So not only do you solve the question of, well, what software do I use to build this, you give them purpose. You're not just selling software where they can just look around and try different features and all that kind of stuff. They actually have context. They've got a purpose for doing this. They want to generate more leads. And it also targets their key problem, right? They're using, most business owners out there, they focus on need leads or sales. They need more leads, they need more sales. If you were to approach them and say, look, your offer sucks, it's terrible, they're not going to believe you. They just think, I need more leads. So any offer they buy, they think, I just need more leads. So they're only ever going to buy that lead gen type of offer. So rather than trying to fight against that and say to someone and convince them of something, maybe they don't want to know it, or maybe they're just not really open to listening to you. Rather than trying to fight against that, you want to go with the current, right? You want to build front end products to actually sell the transformation, sell their lowest hanging fruit, sell the solution to the problem they believe they have right now. might not be their core problem. They may have an offer problem, but if their problem in their mind is lead generation, they're only going to buy products for solve that lead generation problem because they don't believe the other things are a problem, right? And that's why it's much harder to sell software directly as the software itself. That's why when you look at ClickFunnels, what Russell Brunson did, when you look at that, he sold the one funnel away, right? He used the purchase on the front end. People shop around for software, right? They try different things, they test out things, they do a lot of 14-day free trials. SaaS companies all copy each other when doing this. Now, SaaS companies struggle with trials. They actually lose money. So they it can be 2 years actually before a SaaS company even breaks even because of the free trial model. Because honestly, a lot of the times with free trials, they're just banking on someone forgetting about it, right? They make their investment back if someone forgets about it. That isn't really a loyal customer, though. That's not really someone they want using the software. That's simply just someone that forgot about it and doesn't really want to be there. And if they did remember, they would probably have churned. So it's an indirect churn that they're just banking on. So instead of doing that, what ClickFunnels do is they generate cash flow on the front end. They liquidate their ad spend with those challenges, but they also get users to use the platform. And that brings us on to the time investment concept. Now, when the customers start to build on the platform, they invest their time. This is actually more valuable than money. Obviously, they've got a monthly payment for the software, but that money, obviously, it has value, of course. That money means something to them, but the time investment of building funnels, or maybe it's uploading courses, or whatever the scenario is, right? Maybe it's email campaigns. Whenever that happens, they've got time investment into the platform, and that means it's far more sticky. There's retention built into that. So what they're trying to do here with the one funnel away challenge is they're trying to get people in with their primary problem, which would be, I need more leads, I need more sales. Okay, they've given them a strategy to get those leads and to get those sales. And then they've given them the tools, which is the software, and given them context and purpose when building on the platform. They're building something now. So they've got context, they're going to use the platform. Then all of a sudden they're investing time onto the platform. The usage goes up. They've got time investment involved, which then leads to retention because they don't want to lose that time investment. And that is the secret behind what they do. It's the same thing with Go High Level as well. They did not start themselves by selling the CRM system. I mean, not to my knowledge, when I came across them 5 or 6 years ago, I think it was roughly about then, they weren't selling the CRM as a CRM system, right? They were selling it to marketing agencies who were their sales angle was you can onboard your clients, you can sell access to the software to your clients, which in turn solves the agency's biggest problem, which is I want to make more money. I want to make more money at my existing customers. I want to have new angles for new customers that are quite attractive. I want that. I want that value add. So they didn't position it as a CRM. They positioned it as you can sell this to make more money from your customers, which solved the agency's immediate problem. They then onboarded, the agency would then onboard a customer to it. All of a sudden, they can't really leave. So they've got time investment onboarding that customer, and they're not going to leave. They retain as a result. So if you just take a step back and you look at these things and you start to think about it through that lens, you start to notice all the software companies out there that do run free trials, they don't have that concept built in. But some of the most successful companies that we know in this industry, at least, this is exactly what they do. This is how they sell online without the sales calls. And that's the difference. So take a step back. Next time you see software out there, next time you're considering it, take a step back, look at it in this magnifying lens, and really think about what they're actually doing here and sort of, funnel hack it essentially, work it backwards, reverse engineer the system to analyze what they're doing because we can learn from it. And that is something that we learned when we were building to 301 active subscribers, is reverse engineering this process. Now, the three biggest mistakes that people make when trying to build their own SaaS marketing agency. First of all, they sell the software. People try to sell the software and all the tools like database reactivation, review management. This doesn't cover the most painful primary problem for the business owner, which makes it much, much harder to sell. If they're just selling the tools, the business owner is going to shop around. They're going to try different things. They're going to sign up and forget about it. There's so many things that can happen just because they're not selling that immediate need. They also, even if you think about database reactivation, right? That isn't often the immediate need for a business owner. They might have a list of leads. They might know, okay, we could make more money out of those existing leads, but they often gravitate towards, I need new business. What is this exciting new business? It's more exciting for them, right? So if we know that about the market, in order to have success with your company, you have to position and angle your company or your business in that manner. You have to attack those angles because that's what people will buy. We don't want to build something and then sell it. We want to build what we can sell. That's what we need to do. We want to start from the sales angle, think about we can sell, the angles we can sell, and build the offer structures and products we can actually sell, not the other way around. So you have to do this. We sell the transformation. People come in, they buy for the transformation. Your acquisition cost will be much lower. They come in for the transformation. They stick around for the software. So the software retains them for you, but the software is not bringing them in. The transformation is bringing them in. Second biggest mistake is free trials. People look at SaaS companies out there who offer the free trials and then they try to do the same thing. These companies require big amounts of funding. They've got to raise capital because the free trial method can be at a loss for 2 years. If you don't want to hang on for 2 years, I wouldn't go this route. It also brings in the wrong type of customer. From my experience, you will get a lot of tire kickers that are on free trials. When that trial does convert, it causes problems. They ask for refunds because they were never really committed to it. It just creates a world of problems. So I wouldn't recommend the free trials. Now, if you want to, as you'll see in our system later, if you want to downsell a $1 trial, that's okay. It's still not perfect. It's still not the perfect customer, but it adds that financial barrier. It also means they can't use, or they can't have a zero balance card essentially on it. They have to have some kind of balance. So there's a little bit of friction in that as well, which improves your conversion rates on the back end. There's just that little bit more commitment, to be honest. And again, it's still not perfect. It's still a very low amount, but you will get some conversions out of it too, some additional customers that are genuinely just a little nervous on the front end. So that is the benefit of having that $1 trial. But I wouldn't do free trials. I've been there. I've done that. It's not something that I really want to do at all. Now, the final mistake is they're not clear on the magic of monthly recurring revenue. They always try to charge, and I've seen it so many times, they always immediately try to charge $497 or $1,000 per month for the software because they're always taught high ticket works best. Now, the secret with this process is stacking monthly recurring revenue that comes in on autopilot, right? We're not doing sales calls here. We're not having to send invoices. This repeat bills automatically. It's a different business model, but it builds that life-changing stability into the model. And that's the main difference. I would prefer to go low price points. I have sold it for $1,200 per month. I've done that. I combined it with lead generation as well, a lead gen service on LinkedIn. So I put the two of them together. But that's the only time I've done that. And that was honestly, that was the higher tier offer. That was like, had tiers to it. And that was the higher tier offer. Would I do that again? Probably not. That's not really where I want to be. I would rather be between 97 and you could have a premium tier at 497, but I would always ascend the customer to 497. Why? Because someone who's at 497, when it comes to churn, it's a bigger decision to make, right? If it's a tight month for them or business is a little slow, that 497 a month cost is something they can cut, and they will cut it. However, that's if you sell it to a cold audience. If they come in through the Ascension model at $97 a month and then they upgrade to 497, they've got a reason for upgrading. There's a purpose to it, right? They can already access the software at 97, so they have a direct purpose for that 497 plan, and they're going to be using it. Otherwise, they wouldn't upgrade. So that has a much stronger retention rate. So that's why I would actually structure my plans a little differently and start off at lower ticket. Believe me, you can still get to 20, 30, 40K a month on lower ticket without too much friction. It is more than possible. And you can go even higher than that, but let's just start with the basics here, right? Let's just start with getting to that point. You don't need those higher price points. Your life will be a lot better at the lower price points, and your business will be a lot easier. Your customers will be a lot happier. And of course, they'll buy more from you because you're providing such tremendous value to them for that price point. So, next, I'm going to give you a basic overview of the system. This is the typical ascension model, the ladder funnel, as I like to call it, because it has the monthly recurring revenue in the middle. You've probably seen these types of self liquidating offer funnels before. This is our version of it that's worked really well. Again, I'm not necessarily teaching you something here. I'm simply telling you what we do and how we do it. And this is what we do. So normally we've got your ads on the front end. My next slide is actually going to take you in a bit more detail, but I wanted to give you a basic overview first. So you've got the ads on the front end, which can come from any source. You've got a $7 intro offer. The reason it's priced at that point is because it is a low barrier to entry, and we want that customer away from the noise of ad platforms of Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, the works. On those platforms, it's noisy. There's a lot of competition, a lot of distractions. I want that person indoctrinated into my world. Now, on the next slide, I'm actually going to give you a little secret here with something I call the self-destructing program. So I'll show you that in a few seconds. But we start off with the $7 intro offer. This can go up to $27 if you want to, so between $7 and $27. Then you have a $27 order bump. You've then got your $97 per month offer, your software, your base tier. And then you can have a high ticket backend if you want to. That is optional. You don't have to do that by any means to be profitable. We do not take on very many one-on-one customers or clients at all for any of our offers. Sometimes we'll take on maybe 3 per quarter, but that's it. That's all we do because we don't, our business is structured a bit differently than most. But again, this is purely to show you what we do. If you want to replicate it, you can. Now, to get into the system in a bit more detail, this is what it looks like. So you've got your ads on the front end. That could be Facebook ads, Instagram, YouTube, Google ads, Twitter or X or TikTok. Any ad platform. An ad platform is simply traffic. Then you've got your intro product at $7. The conversion rate on that page is normally about 10%, and our acquisition cost is about $25. Then you've got your order bump, which is priced about $27. Our conversion rates that we see, if it's well positioned, has to marry in nicely to that intro product. But what we see rates of upwards of 50% on the conversion rate of that order bump. That really boosts your average order value. Then you've got your one-time offer, which could be the monthly subscription at $97 per month. Typically, your conversion rate could be about 33% on an ideal scenario. If it's $97 per month, the monthly recurring revenue route, it might be closer to 20%. But again, that's not a $97 purchase. That's probably on average about $270 plus round about there. So it's a much bigger number with the monthly recurring revenue. So we're okay with a slightly lower conversion rate on that one. Then you've got a high ticket back end, which could be about $2,000 plus. Conversion rate we have experienced typically is quite a standard number in the industry, about 2%. We have experienced that is actually true, and that's typically what does convert. Honestly, we've actually found at time, I'd say it's 2% at the moment, but usually previous years it's been higher than that. Probably just because of the economy and shifts in the economy, it's probably dropped a little bit because cash is a bit tighter in the market. But 2% is a pretty solid number to go with. So you've then got your retargeting campaigns as well at different stages, which can retarget users. Let's say they buy the $7 product, but they don't buy the one-time offer. You can retarget them. Let's say they don't buy the high ticket. You can retarget them as well. Or let's say you've got different intro products. So as I said, we replicate this process across niches. So you can have different intro products as well, not just niches, but you can have different front end angles, which keeps your offer fresh. It keeps your ads a lot fresher as well. And you can replicate and retarget those who bought it or didn't buy it or whatever the scenario is. Warmer audience. So you're basically building a warm audience. Now, based on these funnels, the typical conversion rates that we experience, you could spend $25 to acquire a $7 buyer. Doesn't sound great, but that cost actually breaks even across an average of the funnel. If it goes into the high ticket, it's very, very profitable, but it at least breaks even. on the front end. Now, that's month one. With a monthly recurring revenue offer, if we get anywhere from even 10 to 33% converting, that's additional monthly recurring revenue we're building up, which we're not counting in our front end calculation. We're only counting that on the back end. So that's pure profit. So my target is to break even month one. I want a net zero. I want my ads to cost me nothing, absolutely nothing. Yet I might get 30, 40, 50 front monthly recurring revenue subscribers every month from that. So you can see how that stacks up and up and up. And then if you add in a 5% churn rate, but you're growing at 30, 40, 50 every month or higher, you can see how the monthly recurring revenue snowballs more and more and more and more. And this is what we do. We rinse and repeat this process. Then you can have email and AI nurture campaigns as well, which are going to boost your conversion rates, whether that's into the subscription from people who didn't buy it, or if it's into the high ticket, or whatever it may be. Now, that image right there is an entire business, right? That's exactly what we do. We simply replicate that process across different niches. Now, at the core of all niches here is lead generation. That's what we're focusing on. We're not focusing on different things or different challenges. We're taking a lead gen process and we're just replicating it as front end offers into these different markets. Then for the upsell, all it has to change is the way we position the software, because each market might have a different use or a different priority for the software, right? For example, insurance agents, each niche has a different feature they're going to focus on. For insurance, a big thing is they do want to reactivate lead lists, and they also want that flow of new leads. That's a priority. A lot of the times an insurance agent will start their day by cold calling their list, or not, maybe not cold calling, but just calling their list, just power dialing essentially through their list. So reactivating the old leads with AI or automatically is a big pull for them. They want that. Then you look at med spas. So a med spa, their main focus might be intent location based campaigns like Google Ads or SEO, alongside getting existing customers in more often. So more like recurring offers for them, right? Getting them on treatment plans or whatever. Like it could be consistent Botox injections or something like anything along those lines, right? Something like that. Again, slightly different use for the platform. You have coaches and consultants. We would focus on the financial savings of an all-in-one platform when it comes to course hosting and also high converting sales systems, because it's something they all want. Then you've got local businesses. The priority would be location-based search, Google business profiles, and also the review management. This would be put together. I'd package all of this on the front end as their ultimate lead gen system, right? Their system that they they can use to market, and they can save a lot of money every month. But each of these elements, if you think about all of these markets, what I'd package this together as on the front end is always a lead gen system, some kind of marketing system for them. I would use the intro products on the front end. I'll just flip back a slide here. I'd use the intro products on each of the front ends, replicating this funnel system over and over and over again for each niche. And I would run that, always following the same formula, always following the same structures, and it would work beautifully. The only differences are the intro products and then the copy on the upsell page, which is this one-time offer here in green. That one-time offer, I would slightly adjust the copy to market to the needs, the immediate needs the niche would have for the software. So a coach is obviously going to be different to a med spa. I would just position it accordingly. Now, if you want more information on these funnel systems, I have other videos on my channel where I break down these numbers in a bit more detail and I show you how they all work. This video was intended to give you an overall concept of the system that we use, but hopefully you found that beneficial. Hopefully that gives you some insight into how we can get to those numbers and not have to take sales calls and be able to break our ad spend even every single month without concern. That is the key behind it. And then, of course, how we can stack that monthly recurring revenue with the SaaS marketing agency. And that is the magic behind it. So, as I said, I'm not necessarily teaching you something here. I'm just basically showing you this is how we did it. This is how we currently do it. If you want to replicate that process, you can. If you want to, you can take it and go. And yeah, that's basically what we do. If you like content like this, if you like the concepts that we cover and the way our teachings work here or the way we present things, like and subscribe to my, or like this video and subscribe to my channel. It always helps, gives me some indication as to what we're doing right or what you like to see on the channel. And any questions, of course, just leave me a comment below and hopefully you'll see on the channel. I respond to all the comments as well myself. So let me know, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.